Hi friends, Mickey Mankis here and welcome to Out the Back Door. Today I'm going to be making refrigerator pickles, also known as bread and butter pickles. Come join me. So besides Mr. Mankis, my dad has been asking for bread and butter pickles. He likes this as a treat every now and then. So I do have some cucumbers here that I have picked. They're burpless. I'm just cutting these in half because it's going to be easier to work with. And I'm going to be using my mandoline, and we want to be slicing these fairly thin. So right now, this is about the thickness that we have for the pickles that we're going to be making, and I am going to continue slicing up all of the cucumbers. We need approximately about 2 pounds worth, 6 to 7 cups worth. So once I get this all done, I'll show you the next step. I have my cucumbers all sliced up now. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing using the mandoline with onions. I need approximately 2 cups of thinly sliced onion. And I had brought in a red onion so that I could use in salad in a little bit. All right, once I finish getting these all sliced up and everything, I'm gonna get going on the brine. The onions are all sliced up and everything, and now I'm gonna start on the brine so I can get this heated up. And while this is heating, then I can go and put the cucumbers and the onions into my jars. I'm going to start with white vinegar. I need 1.5 cups. I will be sharing the entire recipe that I normally make, but I am going to be omitting a couple of different things in this batch because when I share it with my dad, there's certain things he doesn't really care for. So I'm kind of tailoring this recipe right now to him. So we've got our vinegar in there, and I'm going to be putting sugar in. I'm using cane sugar, raw cane sugar. You can use regular white sugar if you'd like. Okay, so 3/4 cup of the sugar. Next, I'm going to be adding 3/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm using sea salt today. There's 1.25 The next thing I want to add is my mustard seed. And I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of that. I'm also going to be using celery seed, and I want 1/2 teaspoon of that. Okay, there's a lot of different recipes out there for bread and butter pickles, refrigerator pickles, that type of thing. Some of them have turmeric and some do not. The recipe I do does. So I'm going to be adding 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric powder. Okay, the rest of the recipe would call for 1/2 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. It would also call for 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper that's ground up and 4 cloves of garlic that are thinly sliced. Now, even the black pepper, my dad does like that, but I don't want to make it too hot where he's like, sorry, I can't eat these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this onto the stove top and I'm going to turn it up so I do bring it to a boil. I want everything dissolved really well, especially that sugar. All right, you can use a plastic pail with a cover if you want, like an ice cream container, a glass bowl, anything you want that'll have a cover on it, and you're going to store this in the refrigerator. I just happen to be using my mason jar. I'll be using the plastic reusable lids on the tops here. Now, I have no idea how many jars I'm going to need. I've already washed these really well and everything, but I am going to start piling these in. But what I want to do is kind of alternate. I'm going to put cucumbers in, and then some of the onion. And I'm just going to continue layering these. I do want to kind of pack it tight. Okay. I'm going to keep doing my jars here. I do have one more cucumber that I didn't slice up because I didn't know if I was going to have too much right away or what was going to happen. So I am going to continue filling my jars here. And I'll see if I need to slice that other cucumber up. Or do I need to pull another jar? We will see when that happens. Now I do have another recipe for the refrigerator pickles, and that calls for slices of bell pepper, but it doesn't have a lot of the seasonings that I'm putting in. My dad doesn't like onions either, but he's kind of learned to work around it, and he just pulls the pickles out, and if an onion comes out, he just tosses it. But that lends so much to the flavor of these refrigerator pickles. Also, if I see that I'm going to need more brine, I will make another batch of that. Alright, I did cut up that other cucumber. And I am definitely going to have to make more brine. I would say I didn't take very good notes on the last time that I made this recipe. Well, for starters, I am going to put the cover on this one. I'm going to make another batch, actually a triple batch, so that I have enough to fill the other 3 jars here. And I'm going to let this sit to get to room temperature because it's too warm right now. Once it comes to room temperature, then I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. Be forewarned, turmeric stains big time. Earlier today I was cutting up a black nebula carrot. My hands are finally, I think, unstained. They were super purple for such a long time just from peeling that carrot. Well, my cloth is all stained yellow right now because when I first poured that new batch into the jar, it was splashing off of the cucumber on the top. Now I had to get it off the table right away so it didn't stain the table. Alright, I've got a little bit left. Not enough to be concerned about. I am just going to clean up the rims here. Being that there's sugar in it, it's sticky. Okay, I'm just going to let these sit on the counter, like I said, until they come to room temperature. And once they come to room temperature, then I'll put them into the refrigerator. You're probably going to have to wait 3 to 4 days before you start digging into them to enjoy them. They will be good in the refrigerator anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks if you don't eat them up all by that time. So here you go, simple and easy bread and butter refrigerator pickle. And just about anybody can do this, and I know this is one of the favorites in our family. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and share, and if you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. So until next time, you have a wonderful day. God bless.